Hello everyone. Today I am talking about this book, The Alchemist, because this book is very motivational. And understand my pronunciation. If any, let's get started. Part 1. The boy's name was Santiago. Dusk was falling as the boy he decided to spend the night there. He saw to it that all the ship entered through the ruined gate, and then laid some planks across it to prevent the flock from wandering away during the night. There were no wolves in the region, but once an animal had strayed during the night, and the boy had to spend the entire next day searching for it. He swept the floor with his jacket and lay down, using the book he had just finished reading as a pillow. He told himself that he would have to start reading thinker books. They lasted longer and made more comfortable pillows. It was just dark when he awoke and looking up to see the stars. He had the same dreams, same dream that night as a week ago, and once again he had awakened a weekend before it ended. He arose and taking off his crook began to awaken the sheep that still slept. He had noticed that as soon as he awoke, most of his animals also began to stir. It was as if some mysterious energy bound his life to that of the sheep with whom he had spent spent the past 2 years, leading them through the countryside in search of food and water. They are so used to me that they know my schedule. He muttered, thinking about that for a moment. He realized that it could be the other way around, that it was he who had become accustomed to their schedule. But there were certain of them who took a bit longer to awaken. The boy crowded them one by one with his cook, calling each by name. He had always believed that we are able to understand what he said, so there were times when he read them parts of his books that had made an impression on him, or when he would tell them of the loneliness or the happiness of a shepherd in the fields. Sometimes he would comment to them on the things he had seen in the village they passed. But for the past few days he had spoken to them about only one thing: the girl, the daughter of a merchant who lived in the village they would reach in about 4 days. He had been to the village only once the year before. The merchant was the proprietor of a dry goods shop, and he always demanded that the ship be shared in his presence so that he would not be cheated. A friend had told the boy about the shop, and he had taken his ship there. I need to be sell some wool, the boy told the merchant. The shop was busy, and the man asked the separate shepherd to wait until the afternoon. So the boy sat on the steps of the shop and took a book from his bag. I didn't know shepherds knew how to read, said a girl's voice behind him. The girl was typical of the region of Andalusia, with flowing black hair and eyes that vaguely recalled the Moorish occurrence. Well, usually I learn more from my ship than from books, he answered. During the 2 hours that they talked, she told him she was the merchant's daughter and spoke of life in the village, where each day was like all the others. The shepherd told her of the Andalusian his slip, his ship. How did you learn to read? The girl asked at one point. Like everybody learns, he said, in school. Well, if you know how to read, why are you just a sipper? The boy mumbled an answer that allowed him to avoid responding to her question. He was so the girl would never understand. He went on telling stories about his travels and her guide. Maurice's eyes went wide with fear and surprise. As the time passed, the boy found himself wishing that the way would never end, that her father would stay busy and keep him waiting for 3 days. He recognized that he was feeling something he had never experienced before. The desire to live in one place forever, with the girl, with the raven hair. His days would never be the same again. He was excited and at the same time uneasy. Maybe the girl had already forgotten him. Lots of shepherds passed through selling their wool. It doesn't matter, he said to his sheep. I know other girls in other place. But in his heart he knew that did matter, and he knew that shepherds like seamen and like traveling salesmen always found a town where there was someone who could make them forget the joys of carefree wandering.